Can you make sure my phone is turned off?
So, Chris, I know that you have a lot of clients that are new.
So that again, I was touching the microphone, sorry.
Okay. It's almost like we need to be, more facing each other.
It's a kind of toughy one, yeah, because I can only appear too laid back, but okay, yeah.
All right. So, Chris, I know you have a lot of new clients,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you have it down to a system. You have it. You've rehearsed it enough times where you've figured out things that work,
Mm-hmm.
things that just set you on the right path,
Mm-hmm.
things that allow you to introduce your work
Mm-hmm.
to the new client
Mm-hmm.
in a way that makes them feel safe, it makes them feel that, hey, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Could you walk me through a little bit some of your secrets of success there?
Oh, it's a big one, secrets of success. It's about really setting the client up for success. It's about helping the client be successful.
Yeah.
It's about helping them move forward to believe they can be successful. And it all really starts, as you say, from that first conversation. And it's very much a conversation. I don't know about your training, but my training was very much along the lines of you will go from A to Z and you will tell them everything. You will bore them to death for the whole session.
Right.
But the truth is that the
Nope.
clients don't want that. They don't want that. They're there to talk. They're there to be heard. They're there to be listened to. They're there because they've brought a goddamn issue that they have a problem with. So I found out very quickly that it's okay. There's certain concepts that they want to know, and it's about ultimately introducing the process. But introducing the process is a chatty, a conversational style.
Yeah.
That if you leave enough openings, they will also ask the questions.
Right.
But also it's about engaging the client. Things that we've spoken about in some of the other videos, it's about gaining rapport. Going back to what we said about the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind wants to feel safe. It wants to feel safe. It doesn't want to feel judged. It wants to be able to communicate. It wants to know that it's going to be listened to, because often people are there because they haven't been listened to. That inner child hasn't been listened to and acknowledged. So very much the process is, it's starting from a slow kind of avenue, a little bit of introduction, what we will do, what we won't do, the things that we'll talk about. We have to get the legalities out of the way so that everything that we talk about in this room stays in this room,
Right.
with obviously the exceptions.
Right.
But then it can basically start with, okay, what do you expect from the process? What do you want from the process? And then as we start to go through, we're filtering what the conscious mind is, what the unconscious mind is, how feelings evolve, how emotions evolve, how the logical mind can interfere. And it's really including the client at every stage, getting their perception, making sure they understand it. Ultimately, and I keep saying ultimately more than enough times, the rapport is the key. The unconscious rapport, the conscious rapport. Even at an early stage, even very early, within 5 or 10 minutes, we're starting to teach the client things, where we're teaching them maybe the tapping element to get them involved. And this is not about showing them that this is how you must do it. It's about getting them involved with the process. It's about getting them to appreciate certain aspects. Go on.
Yeah, and I like the getting them involved part and the tapping stuff, but only really, I mean, so they notice, wow, I do feel a little different.
Absolutely. They're able to notice very quick. And with the tapping, I know you've done them some tapping, but with the tapping, you do a round of tapping, a round of the EFT tapping, the therapeutic tapping. When you've done a complete round, your body feels differently. Because why wouldn't it? You move from the outside world to the inside world. Now, very quickly, if you do one round of tapping with a client and they notice how the body settles,
You point that out.
you point that out, absolutely. You get them to point it out. And then it starts to suddenly feel safe that, wow, even just by tapping on these spots, my body felt settled, my body felt calm. You're then able to lead on that. You're then able to talk about going into the body, about how the body communicates, whether something feels true, whether something feels false.
So how do you do that? How
Well,
do you...
a typical example would be you'd ask the person to close their eyes.
Right.
You'd ask them to focus in the body, just notice how the body feels right now. Notice any areas of tightness, any areas of tension. If there's any areas there, you can move around, you get comfortable. And often a client will sit in the chair and they'll sit there with their eyes closed and they'll notice it. What's the next thing you do? You compliment them, of course.
Right.
Compliment them at every opportunity.
That may actually be a distinguishing factor from ours.
Mm.
I think the complimenting is so woven into
Yeah.
our style
Yeah.
that it becomes something that differentiates this particular work because it just helps so
Yeah.
much.
Well, it is about setting up for success. It's about helping clients realize that regardless of the other therapies that they've worked with, this is something that they can become engaged with very quickly, that they're able to notice how the body feels, that they're able to notice how the body shifts. It's about being honest with themselves as well. So from that, we then kind of go through the whole process of, okay, in a moment I'm going to ask you to say your name. Just repeat your name and notice how your body feels. Notice whether it feels true, whether it feels false. Then we might throw in another name, such as the name of a film star or a musician, and notice those little shifts and changes. Now, often those shifts are so delicate and so subtle that they may just miss them. But that's okay. We have a dirty, rotten trick up our sleeves. We'll then get them to focus on someone they love, someone that they care about. Or even if it's a food, their favourite food. And often it will be, okay, so there's your mum or dad in front of you. Say these words, Mum and Dad, I love to hug you. Mum and Dad, I love to... It feels so calm, it feels so safe, it feels so happy, it feels true, it feels...
So what's
complete.
the dirty rotten trick?
The dirty rotten trick is, Mum and Dad, as I look at you, I'm never going to hug you again. Now often, you'll see the throat will lack,
Wow.
the throat will lock, the body will tense. What's that saying?
Wow.
That's basically saying that is a dirty rotten lie. When you start to notice that, then you're suddenly getting back in contact with your unconscious mind. That's
Wow.
kicking against that.
So I could see that be pretty powerful. It's like 10 minutes into this thing and I'm already really feeling a powerful feeling.
Yeah, because people lie to themselves. People have lied to themselves for years. I lied to myself for years about what certain issues were. When you start to face those issues or those memories or those past events with your eyes closed, you're focusing on your body and there's no getting away from your body. If your body tells you you're hungry, guess what? You feel the hunger. If your body needs to go to the loo, guess what? You feel like you need to go to the loo. You try and convince yourself. You try and talk yourself out of going to the toilet. You give that 2 or 3 days, your body will let you know in no uncertain circumstances.
Yeah, who's winning?
Who's winning? And it ain't you consciously, I'll tell you. But it's only when you get there and, oh my God, that feels so good, that your body returns to balance.
Right.
And it's the same with this. When you notice those uncomfortable feelings, your body's automatically responding. And it's about listening to the unconscious. So very early, it's that element of pointing out the things that work, pointing out the things that they're aware of.
So are there anything else that you do to communicate to the subconscious mind?
Well, your unconscious mind is always communicating. Your
I mean,
subconscious.
that you can get answers from.
Yeah.
It's what do you do?
Well, one of the things that we talk about is how the unconscious mind communicates.
Right.
Your unconscious mind communicates through thoughts, feelings, memories, pictures, sensations, emotions, dreams, and the big one that a lot of people can miss is body language. So often you may have noticed that when we talk to people, they nod their head or they shake their head. I talk with my hands never stop moving.
Yeah, mine either.
No, and it's
Yeah.
not me suddenly going, oh, I'm making a point, so I've got to kind of waggle the finger on the camera right now, or I've got to kind of nod my head and shake my head to prove that I'm being honest.
Yeah.
We do that unconscious. That's unconscious communication. So we can actually use what's called an ideomotor response. We can set up fingers, so we can set up like the index finger for yes, the little finger for no. And it's a great way to show a client how the unconscious mind could communicate with them. Now,
Because if they discover that they're thinking the answer is yes and their subconscious mind saying no,
that happens more than you'd ever think.
oh my gosh.
So they're suddenly nodding or kind of going, yeah, that's it, and the fingers are going no. Now, again, that in itself proves that the unconscious mind is able to communicate. It's able to communicate direct, that we don't need to learn a whole series of 10, 15, 20 and 30-minute inductions.
No.
We don't need to do a slow, progressive relaxation. It's about breaking the misconception about what hypnosis is, what hypnosis isn't.
Yeah, that's our hypnosis conversation.
That's a hypnosis conversation.
That we already had. But
Now, there are some people, there are some unconscious minds that want to feel totally safe. And so often the unconscious mind will not communicate through ideomotor responses because it doesn't feel safe enough. We get that. And this is just an exercise and
so
a
that
process.
has nothing to do with the person
No.
being a good subject or, it's not anything like that.
No.
It's about safety.
It's about safety. Consciously, the client has made the effort to book an appointment, to actually come in the
So
appointment.
consciously they're on the I want to improve.
They're on track, yeah.
So, and they show up and they want to do this work,
Mm-hmm.
and here's their fingers not going up and down.
Yeah, yeah. And we can talk her out by saying, okay, that's just an example. It's okay. It just lets us know that the unconscious mind wants to feel safe. which means that guess what? The unconscious mind is already communicating. So the very fact that we didn't get the ideomotor response shows that the unconscious mind is communicating and that it doesn't feel safe. So again, from our perspective as therapists
It still
or healers,
helps. It still helps.
it still helps.
Yeah.
We don't berate the client, tell them to try harder, tell them to relax more. No, that's fine. We can then use muscle testing.
Right.
And muscle testing, there's various forms, and again, there are muscle
Right.
testers out there. Kinesthesiology, if I could say the word correctly, would be the
Right.
terminology.
Well, you Brits don't really pronounce stuff right.
Us Brits don't pronounce anything correctly, of course,
Right.
yeah. So we can do a process where we can close the eyes, and we can notice when you say something that's true, that the eyes will get a sense of moving in one direction. If it's false, the eyes will roll in another direction.
And does it have to be a specific direction, or it's particular to the client?
In some cases, it can be very much uniform in that often it'll feel as if they're being pulled forward or falling backwards. But there's no right or wrong. And again, it's not about pointing out what's right or wrong.
Right. So it's just having a plan B. If the fingers don't work,
Absolutely.
this will always work.
This will always work.
Wow.
And then
so now that we've figured out, okay, we can get answers from the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
I guess you're ready to go then, right?
You're ready to go. We can talk, and we can then at that point start to lead in. Okay, what results? So we want setting the goal of direction, because again, very much about setting up for success and introduction to the processes
No.
is what do you want from this? What's the ultimate goal that you want from this?
So does that mean that they show up and they basically want you to fix them?
Yeah, but we don't fix anyone, of course. But it is about wanting to be fixed. But that's something that we need to discuss on maybe a separate tape or a separate recording.
Right.
But it is about breaking down those misconceptions of I'm paying the money, I'm here to be fixed, your job is to fix me.
So there's some extreme cases of that, but still, it doesn't change your role. Your
No.
role is to teach, is to empower,
Yeah.
is to guide, is to take them where they need to go in
Yeah.
order to really kind of find whatever program's working against them,
Yeah,
past their expiration date, if you will.
absolutely. And again, it's help setting them up for success.
Right.
It's an introduction to the process about what they can expect, but also about helping them set up for success. Because often clients will have, well, I did CBT and that failed miserably, and I've done this and
Right,
that
so they've
failed
got a
miserably.
long list of fails.
Yeah,
It's almost like who wants to go get an F in getting better?
yeah. So let's try the whole kind of healing, integrated approach. No, I can fail at that quite easily as well because I failed at so
Because
many
I failed
things.
at so many others, right?
Oh, and by the way, your unconscious mind, it carries around this big bag of evidence that proves that I failed at everything.
Right.
We want to start to actually build on that to prove to that inner child that at best is 11 years old that, do you know what, I can actually do this.
So that's part of the secret, right? Is actually proving this stuff works to the inner child.
Engaging the inner child.
Wow.
Even from that very first moment, from
Wow.
that very first meeting.
Wow. Okay.
And I guess in a nutshell, that would be it. Breaking misconceptions.
Yeah.
Building confidence, building trust,
Right.
building rapport.
Right.
And again, what do we work with? The inner child.
Cool. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.
No. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.